Hello YouTube, more specifically the ponies and bronies of the world. I'm here to read you a fan fiction entitled Gildas Cupcakes. I've read it before and there's not that much bad in it. It's just kind of gory and only one bad language, and that's about it. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, then you shouldn't watch this video. Alright, and you might remember me as Joe from the other video that we did with me and James and Spencer. I decided to, do this full time. Hopefully James will like it or not, and if he doesn't, I'm just going to be a sad pony. Without further ado, let's get started. Gilda sulked down the road. She couldn't believe that Dash would ditch her for those dweeb ponies. They had been best friends since junior speedsters, and Rainbow Dash just straight up ditched her. Ugh, whatever. She'll realize her mistake and come around eventually. About halfway down the road, Gilda heard hoofsteps. She rolled around hopefully, expectantly even. "Rainbow Dash!" she shouted. "Oh, it was just that loser pink pony from earlier. What do you want, dweeb?" The pink pony shifted from hoof to hop. "I know you don't have a number like any pony else, but this is a rare opportunity." "A number? What are you talking about?" Gilda started, but began to feel dizzy, and crumpled into a heap. Her last vision, the grinning pink pony with an empty syringe in her mouth. Pinky giggled as she took the griffin's tail in her mouth and dragged her through the Sugar Cube Corner's back entrance, before returning to finish the party. Gilda groaned and slowly opened her eyes. It was completely dark around her. She screamed out for the pink pony, demanding to know what had happened. "Where are you?" she screamed as she thrashed, suddenly realized that every one of her limbs, even her wings and tail, had been strapped down. Gilda heard a voice respond from darkness. "Where's Pinkie Pie?" The pink pony suddenly jumped into Gilda's line of sight. "Here I am." Gilda was terrified at the pony's attire. A dress made of various blood-covered cutie marks ripped right from their flanks. On the black fluttered 6 Pegasus wings, all of different colors. Around her neck was a string of severed unicorn horns, which clacked together as she approached. "What's going on?" Gilda shouted. Pinkie Pie stroked Gilda's stomach. I thought I made myself clear before. No pony's taking Dash away from me. She was my friend first. She deserves to be with me, not you losers," Gilda yelled. She can't help you," Pinkie said. "But we're running out of time to play. Let me go get my things." Pinkie disappeared into the darkness and turned on a light bulb that illuminated the rest of the room. Gilda stared, transfixed at the tables and chairs made from bones and flesh of preserved ponies. Organs done up in pastels and filled with helium tied to the backs of chairs as balloons. Skulls painted in bright colors were glued to the walls. A banner made of pony hide hung from the rafters. The words, "Life is a party," scrawled in the blood. "Oh, Celestia, Luna, no, this can't be happening," Gilda screamed as Pinkie Pie appeared with a variety of sharp and dangerous medical tools. Gilda struggled against her bonds once more. They held tight. "Fuck," Gilda shouted in desperation. Pinkie walked up to her. "Now, Gilda, I'll let you off this time, but I don't tolerate meanie mouths." Pinkie took a large and wickedly sharp knife in her mouth. She walked behind Gilda and took a wild swipe, landing square on the base of Gilda's tail, making a large gash, leaving the blade dripping with blood. Gilda screeched, an eagle's cry as the knife dug deeper and deeper. Pinkie paused, setting the knife down, and took Gilda's tail in her mouth. She pulled it taut. It held for a moment before tearing away. All silence except for a ragged breathing and Gilda's blood dripping on the dirty floor. Pinkie held up Gilda's severed tail and asked, "Won't this look beautiful on my dress?" Gilda let loose a string of swears, piquing disapproval from the party pony. Gilda, I warned you about that meanie mouth." Pinkie placed a strange device with 4 hooks around Gilda's head, keeping her beak open. Pinkie took the scalpel and stood over the griffin. "Now be a good girl." Pinkie quickly cut into Gilda's tongue, pulling out the muscular organ with a gooey snap, leaving Gilda to choke in her own blood. Gilda looked at Pinky with frantic, pleading eyes as she gurgled, struggling to swallow the iron-tasting ichor. "Now I can work in peace," Pinky said gleefully. Pinky walked over to one of Gilda's wings, pulling out every feather before swinging the knife down, blood erupting onto Gilda's bare skin. Pinky put her mouth over Gilda's semi-attached featherless wings and salivated before attacking the flesh, ripping a ragged, bloody chunk of skin and fibrous muckle, slurping up tendrils of veins, their blood dripping down her chin, being lapped up eagerly by her tongue. Gilda tried to scream, but only coughed and choked. You taste fantastic. Griffins taste like two animals at once. It's amazing." Pinky finished eating while Gilda helplessly writhed. Pinky hacked away. Well, alright. So should I do that all over again? Alright. Yeah. It's only a little bit more. Pinky hacked away at the rest of the wing, carefully sitting on one of the tables. I wouldn't want to damage any of the ingredients. When would any pony get another chance to try Griffin? This'll be my most special cupcake ever! Pinky squipped around joyfully. She leaned down to whisper, "I bet Dashy will enjoy them too." Pinky defeathered Gilda's other wing, sliced the top and bottom skin, and hacked halfway through the bone before taking it in her mouth and snapping it with an ear-splitting crack. Pinky placed the second wing on the table and looked Gilda in the eyes. Gilda was bleeding badly, her tears, mucus, and blood mixed together as it streamed down her face. "I guess you're a flightless bird now," Pinky joked. Guilty swallowed and struggled to speak. "Oh, Pinkie Pie." I'm Owie, Gilda cried. "It's too late to stop now. Dash will never like you without your wings. You're equivalent to one of us loser ponies." "How does it feel?" Pinky asked. Gilda let out a wee gurgling cry. Pinky continued, "At least you don't have to live with it." Pinky walked back to the cart and picked up an ice cream scoop. "You're weak, disgusting," Pinky said in an odd burst of uncharacteristic anger. She walked over to Gilda, positioned over her face. "You made Fluttershy cry. No pony does that and gets away with it. It's only fair that I take your eyes." Okay, pause for a second. That is so true. You did not make Fluttershy fucking cry. I don't care who you are. Continuing, Gilda thrashed, trying to twist her head. She had no such luck. A tight brace held her head in place. She squeezed her eyes shut, whimpering. "Looks like we have to do this the hard way." Piggy put the ice cream scoop down and returned with his scalpel. She pried open Gilda's eyelid and jammed the scalpel into it. Gilda screeched and thrust upwards. Pinky pulled out the scalpel and popped out Gilda's other eye. Pinkie Pie said in imitation of Gilda, "I've got my eye on you." Pinkie paused and then said in her own voice, "And I've got my eye on you." Pinky laughed. "Oh wait, you won't be able to tell 'cause you're blind." Pinky put the eyeball with Gilda's wings and tail. "You're slipping. I better finish off." Pinky took her rusty scalpel and made a wide incision on Gilda's chest. "I wonder if griffins have different anatomies than ponies." Gilda opened Gilda's chest cavity as Gilda squirmed. Gilda wished Pinky had used painkillers when she was cut open. Pinky marveled at the organs that griffins had and ponies didn't, and thought of what a treat it would be for all her friends. She riffled this way and that through Gilda's body, slicing out her organs one by one, pushing out the way to discover more tasty treasures, all with bright shining eyes of a young filly on Christmas morning. Gilda was fading. She welcomed it by now. She could feel her heart being sliced. Right before she died, she thought. "I'm sorry, Dash," Pinky sighed. Gilda was gone, and she recognized a sign that she had learned to pick up on so well. She wiped off her hooves, collected Gilda's body parts, and set them next to the meat grinder. Pinky wiped down all the pans, tables, and medical tools. She took out Gilda's clean skull on the bottom of the metal cart. It was time to make cupcakes. 6 months later. Pinkie Pie was just wrapping up her workday when she got a twitchy gut. She looked around quickly and retreated to the basement via trapdoor. Pinky retrieved the book bound in pony skin off the shelf and stuffed her muzzle into a party hat filled with several slips of paper. Pinky withdrew number 74. She opened the book and pictured a name next to number 74, Rainbow Dash. Pinky picked up the skull. You two have been friends for such a long time. I bet she'll be really happy to have you with her, Gilda. Pinkie Pie had to get ready. Rainbow Dash was coming at 3. And that's the end of it. Not as long as Cupcakes, but I think, just as bad. Well, again, I would think James would want me to ask if you guys have any requests or anything, because, we kind of really like them, because, it's just requests, and we like you guys. Well, thanks for the view, I guess, and subscribe if you want to. I don't care if you do or don't, or dislike it or anything. It's, just fuck you, go fuck yourself, we don't care. Well,